Welcome to At the Pynk podcast, where we promote self-care every day because we deserve it, and so do you. Join us every Sunday as we deep dive into ways we can all practice self-care every day.
Hello, I'm Elon.
And I'm Rhonda.
And this is At the Pynk podcast, where we discuss ways to practice self-care every day.
And At the Pynk podcast is sponsored by Pynk Monkey Aesthetics and Wellness. We're a self-care spa here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're located at 5699 East 71st Street, just a little bit west of 71st and Benford. Our phone number is 317-985-1649. You can call or text that number. You can also visit our website at www.pynkmonkey.net. That's pynkmonky.net. And you can support us by scheduling online, coming in for an appointment, or shopping online. We suggest our number one selling product, which is called Monkey Balm, and it's great for everything self-care, cuts, scrapes, bruises, bug bites, diaper balm, psoriasis, eczema. It's good for adults and children. It's an amazing product. It's all natural, made with shea butter and essential oils. And so hopefully you can shop online or come in and see us for an appointment real soon.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about
financial self-care.
Self-care, yes.
Which most people would not think that there is a such thing, but there is.
Mm-hmm. So I'll start off with the affirmation for the day. It's kind of a twofer. You can put it together or you can separate it if you want. But the affirmation for the day is, I want more money, and that's okay. I am committed to living my financial dreams.
Okay. Because what's the saying? Closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something, you need to be very clear and very detailed about what it is that you want, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And I think that sometimes we feel like, especially if you don't come from money, sometimes we have these like mental hang-ups about what we're deserving of financially, and are we asking for too much? And I'm just kind of to the point in my life where I'm like, no, I want more money, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with wanting more money and wanting to be able to do more things.
Yeah, because money drives everything that we do. You know, almost nothing is free.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to live any kind of lifestyle, whether it's a meager lifestyle or an extravagant lifestyle, you still need money either way.
That's true.
So, you know, that's why we're talking about financial self-care.
Yes.
You ready to dig in?
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, let's just talk about some different ways that you can practice financial self-care, and then we'll get into kind of some of the details about it. So number one, set goals, which we all fall, at least me, I fall short. I need to set goals. So setting goals is going to even be like setting a budget. So the goals are going to be kind of your overall thing. And underneath that, you're going to have a budget. Some things that you want to budget for, savings, retirement, which you can start saving for retirement at any age, not just when you're 40, an emergency fund. So a savings account and an emergency fund is different, so we'll talk about that in a minute. You also want to manage your financial self-care by looking at your debt and making sure that you maintain a handle on that, keeping it paid off. And then also, whatever bills you do have that you pay every month, that you want to pay them on time. So those are the things. So let's talk about goals a little bit, because all these things can fall under the goals, but some other things that you don't really think about, or depends on who you are, you may or may not. One thing in goal setting is insurance. So think about if you feel like you need insurance, like if you have a car insurance, medical insurance, life insurance. So those are some things to think about as far as insurance goes. And then do some research and study and see, you know, and that goes to your budget. What's in your budget? What's included in the package? So there's so many different kinds of life insurance. There's so many different car insurance companies out there. You want to make sure that you're getting the one that's right for you and that fits your needs. And even with medical insurance, most people have medical insurance with their job. But even with that, they usually have different packages. So you want to make sure that you look at them all, do the research, and decide which one is best for you, because they're all going to also be different prices.
Can I say a fun fact about insurance?
Yes.
In Indiana, at least. If you're not in Indiana, do your research. But in Indiana, did you know that when it comes to car insurance at least, I learned this when I worked at Geico, that like technically, like you don't have to have car insurance. If you have enough money where you can like secure, I think it's like $100,000, and you can prove and state that like I have $100,000 if something happens, that I'll be able to pay for whatever happens and damages, etc., whatever, then like technically like if you can do that and sign for that and like verify it, like you don't have to have car insurance.
That's interesting.
It's only when you aren't able to do that, because you're not able to do that, that you're required to have insurance, because they can do that for you. That's basically what the insurance company is doing for you.
Okay.
It's saying that in the event that this person causes damage, we will pay for it, since they can't pay for it themselves, basically. But if you can pay for it yourself,
Okay.
you don't have to have insurance. Isn't that crazy?
So who do you do that with? Like,
You do it through the, what is it, the BMV?
okay. Interesting. That is a good little fun fact.
So that's one of my goals, is to be able to do that one day. Unless
Okay.
they change the law, but yeah.
So-
Because I just feel like insurance is a ripoff, you know? I don't want to get too far off subject.
Well,
but
let's stay on that vein as far as being able to, with insurance, because it's not, because life insurance is not mandatory. So that's also true for that. If you can set aside money to, like, you can research how much it's going to cost to either bury you or cremate you or whatever it is that you want to do. And you set aside that money, if you have it, for your family, and you say, hey, sit everybody down and say, hey, this is this money, it's in this account, that's what it's for. You really don't need life insurance.
Right.
So,
And a lot of people are even starting to do that with home insurance, I've heard. Especially in places like Florida, where the insurance companies are like finding reasons to drop people anyway. Because they feel like they're wasting their money. Like they pay in all this money, and they never use their policies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the insurance company drops you. They've made all this money off of you and you haven't gotten anything in return. So there's some people who are saying, well, I could put that money to the side or put it in a high yield savings account, and that money will multiply while it's in that account. And then if something happens, then I have the money to pay for my house by myself, instead of having to worry about the insurance company.
That's true. That is a good point. So we'll put that under the savings tab, because you can start saving for all of that. So let's talk a little bit about your budget. So we know how much money we make, and we know how much we get after taxes or whatever. There are some statistics about what percentage of your income should be used for what. But at the end of the day, you really just need to figure out, because most people have bills. If you're in a situation where you have no bills, and like you just got a job, you don't have no bills or nothing, then you're good. You can just start with, when you get your first check, decide how much you're going to put in your savings, how much you're going to put in your emergency fund. If you're going to go ahead and set aside money for car insurance, medical insurance, whatever the insurances are, life insurance, and put those monies in those accounts, which is a great way to start. If you can start your life that way, that would be amazing. Start a retirement account as well. And then after you've done all the important things, you see what you have left over. And then you can also designate a certain percentage for expenditures, you know, like going out, eating dinner, traveling, and, you know, I have these little envelopes. You can get little plastic envelopes on Amazon, or just use regular envelopes from
From Dollar Tree.
yeah, and just put whatever it's for on the envelope. The envelope system works really great. You used to do that a long time ago.
I did used to do the envelope system, and I think I'm about to go back to it. The only part about the envelope system is a little bit annoying is that you have to go to the bank and like get your money out so you can organize it.
Yeah.
But for me, I found that having it tangible in my hand and dividing it up and actually seeing where the money is going, it works for me mentally, you know, versus just seeing all the money online in the account and you just exactly. Like, so for me, it works really well, especially if you can get to the point like where my goal is. I would like to be to the point where I'm like a month ahead on bills, so that way it makes it even easier if you can get a month ahead, because then you're just putting money in these envelopes, and then when it's time to pay those bills for the next month, at that point, that's when you go and actually like take it to the bank or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So that it can come out of your account. So I used to do that all the time, and I would feel like I was way better financially on track when I did that. So I think I'm gonna go back to doing the envelope system, because you see where every dollar goes.
And not only do you see where every dollar goes, but I find that mentally, when you actually have to spend physical money, you think about it twice.
You do.
If you really want to spend that money.
You do.
I've started.
You see it disappearing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because I used to just kind of swipe my card when I was hungry, and I was like, stop. And so I decided to just spend only cash for food if I wanted to eat out. And so as a result, I eat out less because I don't want to do my cash.
Right.
So it definitely makes a big difference when you actually see it and feel it. Tangible things are a lot more, you know, it just makes you think about it more. So let's talk about savings. So they say that in your savings account, you should have enough money to live on for, it used to be like 3 to 6 months. Now it's like a year. So your goal is to have enough money to live on for a year in your savings. But savings and emergency are two separate things.
Right.
Emergency, you should have like your bills. For your bills, you should have 6 months to a year of bills. And that's like emergency. So even though it's 6 months to a year of bills, you use your emergency fund for like if your car breaks down and you don't have money for it unless you have a car account.
Yeah.
But savings is just savings. Like you never touch your savings. And emergency is just if something is like really catastrophic that happens. So you want to make sure that you have both of those accounts totally separate. And then retirement, you can start at any age. Even if you're older, you can start your retirement and just, again, you can do it just like we talked about with the insurance. You can just put aside a certain amount of money. Some people like to do like a 401k through their job or an IRA, and they have the Roth IRA, which is tax-free. So you really need to just do your research, talk to your financial advisor or get a financial advisor, talk to your, maybe the manager at the bank. Sometimes they're really good with financial information. And start your retirement account, start your savings account, start your emergency fund. Make sure you have a budget and make sure you stick to your budget. Now, I want to talk real briefly about paying your bills on time. Actually, you should pay your bills before they're due, like credit card bills.
Yeah, that's true.
In order to consistently increase your credit score, you want to pay your bills before they're due, like a couple of 3 to 5
like
days.
The statement date, I think, is when you're supposed to pay it. Like the
so when you get the notice
date, when you get the notice.
Yeah, because it comes like sometimes 10 days early or 15 days early. So that's when you should pay it because it'll increase your credit score consistently if you do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got some homework to do because I don't have none of these things. So today I am going to set some goals. I'm going to do a budget, and I'm going to start an emergency, a savings, and a retirement account. I really need to look at the, I'm going to really need to look at insurance and see what that looks like and figure out how I want to do that. Like car insurance, you always see the commercials about getting cheaper rates, but you really have to look and see like what it covers and all that, because car insurance can be expensive.
Okay.
And so that's something else that I want to look at and really see. Is there somewhere where I can actually save money and still get a good benefit? And then for life insurance, I'm going to do some research and look and see if the company that I have, compare benefits and see what else.
Especially because I'm not sure, I don't know if it's like with term insurance or there's like two different types of life insurance.
Yeah, term and whole life.
Whole life, yeah. And so I don't know which one it is, but I've heard of people, I don't know which one it is. The term? No, it's whole life, I think, that you can actually borrow from.
Yes.
So like people become like their own banks.
Right.
By having those types of policies.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, the thing that scares me about term life is, and I'm not an expert, but what I've heard. So term life policies are typically 30 years. So if I'm 20 and I get a term life policy, and then when I'm 50, it expires. And so I have to start all over again.
Oh.
So that policy expires, then what? All that money that I paid into it, I don't get back, and then I have to start a new policy. With whole life, once you start it, as long as you're paying it, you have it forever, and which is why you can borrow from it, because it accumulates. So again, get your financial advisor.
Yeah. Or if anybody who is a financial advisor is watching this video and wants to share some information, please comment below.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe that's what we should do. We should have a financial advisor at some point come on.
We can get somebody on.
Yeah, to answer all the questions. We'll do that. That's a good idea. So, what you're going to do?
I'm going to set some new goals. I have some goals, but I feel like I need to reevaluate my goals a little bit. And then I need to redo my budget. Because I know part of the problem for me is I have a husband. So
what does that even mean? I mean,
it's not like the worst thing in the world. It just means like keeping in communication.
Yes.
About everything that's going on, right? Because like he has his credit card, right? I have my credit card.
And you have to be on the same page.
And we have to make sure that we're on the same page, because it's like, well, if we both know how much money we have coming into the account, right? But if we don't talk about what we've been swiping on our credit cards and how that has to pay back, then that can throw off the whole budget.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happens with us sometimes. Okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just something
we kind of need to have like a weekly meeting.
We need to work on, yeah. So I really need to start like implementing consistent meetings with my husband, so I make sure we stay on the same page. Because we can have a conversation and then be like, yeah, we got it. But we don't. So.
And that's the other thing too. When you have a partner, someone needs to be in charge of the finances. Someone needs to be in charge of making sure the money gets to whatever account it's supposed to go to, that you're not spending. Someone needs to make sure that all the bills are paid at a certain time. Someone has to be in charge.
Yeah.
And so whoever is best at finances should be that. I don't think it should always be like the guy or the girl. It's whoever does it best.
Right.
So something to think about.
Yeah, definitely.
So hopefully this has helped you guys. Go ahead and set some goals and get your budget and do all the things.
Get you in the right mindset.
Yeah.
To start making some financial changes.
It does require a mindset shift, doesn't it? Because especially if you just use the swiping. A lot of people don't use cash that much anymore. Yeah. So
a lot of places don't even take cash anymore sometimes.
Really?
Like when you go to go out to like different events and stuff like that, like I found that there's a lot of places they don't even take cash.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
Which is crazy to me, because I like cash. So I'm always down to take cash. But, some people I think feel like it's just easier.
Yeah.
To not deal with it and have to keep up with it maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I don't know. I'm skeptical about everything being digital anyway. I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist or any sort, but It makes me
Well,
uneasy.
you have a reason to be, though. There's just so much. So much going on. The other thing that I want to say about financial self-care is you need to really make sure that you beware of scams,
Yes.
especially if you're older. But in general, beware of scams as far as people calling you, asking you for money, or telling you there's an emergency and can you send money here or there. 99.999% of the time, it's a scam.
It's a scam. And
So
be
just
aware
be
of like
careful.
technology scams too. Like I just saw this video that said this lady, she received these rings, like a ring
Oh, I saw that
in the mail
Yeah.
randomly, but it had a QR code on it, and if you scan the QR code, then they get access
Yep.
to like all your information on your phone and stuff like that. And so stuff like that, like random stuff where it give you random QR codes. Be careful scanning random QR codes around town. Like people will use, just place them,
And you don't know what
and
they
you don't
are.
know what it is. There's another one I saw where this lady, she missed jury duty, and there's not a way that anybody can find out that you missed jury duty, by the way. If anything, they'll like correspond with you through mail. Right? But she said that she got a phone call because she